Hey guys, Noel here, and it is Thursday night, and while family's asleep and I have a little bit of free time on my hands, I thought it'd be fun for us to do a live stream during Christmas break for the Noel ComiX YouTube channel. So, uh, it is reasonably early. It's like 10:30, so we're not streaming at midnight, which is nice, and hopefully we have a nice, eventful live stream that's fun and relaxing that results in me getting a decent amount of sleep tonight. So, we're still on Thursday, it's not Friday, and we are still very much enjoying. It is our good friend Leo with his annoyed face. Yeah, good job, Leo. What's annoying you, Leo? Is it Daddy Pig? Because Daddy Pig is awesome. All right. Hey, International Channel for Life, my friend. I do have your Gundam Seed Chibi Gundam. I just have to find some time to go send it out. So, good seeing you guys. This week has been kind of crazy. So, Christmas happened, and I was sick for Christmas. I mean, I was like walking sick. Hang on, International Channel, I'll show you. I'm sure I've showed you before, but hold on. So, yeah, here he is, right here. So, Heroes and Villains Comic Shop. They have awesome stuff. How dare you rickroll us, but also have Santa walking behind your vehicle? That happened, dude. That was not staged. Back in, I would say, 2019, I was, just doing a rickroll video because I unironically love Rick Astley. Don't believe me? Well, Leo knows, and so does International Channel. I would have to, pull out my Rick Astley records and CDs, but I have them. And so if someone wants to test me, they're legit, right here. But I'm filming the video. This is in February 2019. I'm at the old place, and I see in the rear view mirror Santa Claus walk behind me. No joke. That is not staged. That's not photoshopped. That wasn't even supposed to be a Rickroll video. It was me playing Rick, in the sense I was trying to combine Rickroll and Santa. That all happened 1,000,000% organically. I will put my hand on a Bible and attest to that. So, anyone who wants to bullshit and say that Santa's not real, it is not staged and photoshopped. I don't even know how to. You can't Photoshop a live video. What is that, digital? Did I digitize Santa in the background? Listen, you guys got to understand, Santa's real. Your parents lied to you, and Santa's real. So, if someone told you that Santa wasn't real, I got the video evidence behind my car. Okay, no one is dressing up like Santa Claus in February. Okay, clearly Santa Claus, he likes me because I'm 40 years old and still believe in him. And so he just decided to grace my presence while I was doing a Rick Astley video on my cell phone. So Santa's real, Miracle on 34th Street was right. Maybe Santa has a dark side, as we saw in A Christmas Story when he, kicked Ralphie off that slide. But he's real, man. And listen, Santa's got a variety of delivery methods. Some people will say, well, I know Santa's not real because I saw, the present that I wanted at Walmart, and why is Santa getting me stuff from Walmart? Santa can do whatever the hell he wants, okay? Santa is Saint Nicholas, and he has got, supernatural powers, okay? And as far as I'm concerned, he may even have a time-stopping stand ability, okay? That could absolutely be the case. He could have some kind of Christmas-themed version of the world where he can, stop time, come into your house, eat cookies, and disappear, all right? The fact of the matter is that Santa's real, and he's realer than Bigfoot, because I got him on tape. That is not staged. I'm not lying to you. Santa walked behind my car, okay? And I got it on tape. So, check my shorts. I had to delete my TikTok, not delete the channel, but I had to delete it off my phone because I need space on my phone. So, I haven't. I think I uploaded that to TikTok, but I definitely uploaded it to YouTube, and I'm much more active on YouTube than TikTok. So, oh, sorry, getting so animated, talking about, how I have Santa on video, that my wife can't concentrate on her, nighttime reading, Yeah, I don't know what she's reading about. Probably, I don't know, how some lady got her groove back, or a serial killer, or how some lady got her groove back by becoming a serial killer. I don't know. But what I do know is that Santa's real because he walked behind my car. Yeah, there's that. All right, let's see what's going on in the comments here. It would be funny if he hit you with a steel chair in the back. Yeah, he could, but I was a good boy that year, so he wouldn't, because Santa Claus, he knows that I'm on the good list. I'm not on the naughty list because I do a very difficult job to take care of my family. And, when push comes to shove, I try to do the right thing. And that's good enough for me to get, random cool video games, which we will be playing tonight. What will we be playing tonight? Well, we always kind of play it by ear. We did just review Miho Nakayama's Tokimeki High School. So we have the full review of that with, the best ending. So if you guys do want to check that out tonight, you can. But also, these are the Christmas present games we got. So let's see. They're literally under my blue Christmas tree here. So some of these I got on Christmas morning, and others I got with, the gift cards that were given to me by my loved ones. So, whoa. Got a lot of stuff on the Switch, some stuff on the Xbox, and some stuff on the PS4. So, first off, we have Final Fantasy 12 on the Nintendo Switch. So this has got a very cool reversible cover. I opted for the Yoshitaka Amano style artwork cover, but there is a more conventional Switch cover here. So we got Final Fantasy 12 on the Switch. You might be able to hear we got Crisis Core playing in the background, and that's going to be what we're going to be kicking things off with tonight. We got that on the Switch. So I was a big fan of Crisis Core on the PSP, and one of the things that made me really annoyed with G4 was that, they tended to just dislike Crisis Core because it was a JRPG. I can hear my daughter crying upstairs. Hopefully we didn't get too loud. My poor lovable pretty buddy. So we do got to keep it down. We have Live Alive. Now, I have this game on the Super Nintendo as well, but I did get the Switch version, and, I was holding off on playing this because I was thinking, maybe I should play the Super Nintendo version first, but I'm probably pretty sure I'm going to end up playing this version first. Maybe I'll backtrack and play the Super Nintendo version, but I've heard awesome things about this game, and I downloaded the ROM back in the early 2000s and never got around to playing it. This game I've been messing with a bit. It's Sonic Frontiers. This is selling really well in Japan, which is saying something because Sonic usually does kind of mid in Japan, but Sonic is thrashing things around in his homeland. And Sonic is my favorite video game character. This game is less linear than I would like, but the whole point of the game is that it's not supposed to be linear. But it is pretty cool. I was having some fun with it. It's got Japanese voice acting on it, and it is a interesting Sonic game. It's not as good as the 2D Sonics, but it's a damn good game that a lot of effort got put into. So I'm happy I got this. For my birthday, we have Crisis Core, which I just dropped on the floor. Hold on. Yeah, there we go, Crisis Core. So it's going to be interesting with the alternate remake timeline. What they do is Zack. So Zack's awesome. I love Zack. Zack was a character I always really liked. He's got Cloud's original black hair design. And it's good stuff. Then I went to the comic shop today because I got a $30 coupon, and I got this just random, strategy, chibi mech fighting game. Um, so I don't know what this is called because I can't read Japanese. It's probably like Battle Tyson Alpha or something. Like, I don't know. I can't read it, but it's got a really, really cool looking instruction manual here. So, and it's got nice Japanese inserts. Like, check out this Hori pad right here. Like, that's looking really cool. Here's the actual disc itself, and yeah, this is just a really nifty instruction manual. Is the new Crisis Core different than the PSP version? It is, but it's not. So I haven't played the PSP version since probably 2008, I would say, and I loved it. It's one of my all-time favorite games. But from playing the Switch version, I would say I don't really recognize any real difference in the gameplay. I have heard people say that they've made the gameplay more intuitive and smoother for more casual fans, but it's been so long since I played the original, I don't notice it. And they've definitely beefed up the graphics. Not so much that it's like unrecognizable, but I would say Crisis Core looked good to begin with, in the same way that with like the Chrono Trigger the Chrono Cross re-release, the Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9 re-releases, where they kind of make the graphics like optimized for the newest consoles. They definitely do that. So the characters on this, it looks like a Switch game with the skeleton of a PSP game. And so we will play some of that, but I've been messing around with it, and it's great. It's probably the game I've played the most since I got. We can't watch any of this, but I went to the comic shop today and bought an Evangelion DVD with my coupon, so that was cool. And I've not played this game yet, but we have the new Super Monkey Ball, where you can play as Sonic and Tails, and this was one of the main reasons I got this game, because you could play as Sonic and Tails, and I love Sonic and Tails, and I love Sega, and this is a cool Japanese-style game, so of course I got it. I was playing this today. I got Killer Instinct on the Xbox One, and the coolest thing about these, at least for my taste, is it comes with the arcade ROMs of Killer Instinct 1 and 2. So this would be a fun one to play. And I have not had the opportunity to pop this in, but this is out on the Switch now, and it's about $60. But I got this for like half the price on the PS4. It's Persona 5 Royal, and it came in this really cool custom case. So yeah, so we got some cool games to play tonight, and we'll see how many we get to. So yeah, good times. I have a funny story, as I usually have at the start of these live streams, and that's that I got put in Facebook jail this week, and I'll tell you. I have been known to go on political rants on Facebook, but I always, some of you guys are my Facebook friends. I wouldn't say that I say anything like disrespectful or, illegal or anything like that. What got me in trouble wasn't anything political. It was an It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia reference. So, my favorite episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is called Frank Sets Sweet D on Fire. And it's this episode where the gang wants to get on the news. And so they keep trying to get on the news by creating these situations that will draw like a news crew. And so they always end up like, They keep trying different things, but like no matter what thing they try, they always end on the idea of setting D on fire, and it's really funny because she's always like, "Oh, come on," and then like she ends up getting set on fire, and then like something stupid happens where they put her out. So Charlie Day, I follow him on Facebook for whatever reason, and he posted a picture of D and an ostrich, and so everyone was saying in the comment sections like, "Oh, it's the same picture, there's no difference in the pictures." And then I said, "Set her on fire," And so what that, which was referencing the Frank Sets Sweet D on Fire episode, and the the Facebook algorithm said I was using hate speech. Like, it was, again, I was just like, I don't even like Facebook, so I was just like, you know what, F it, I don't care. Like, I just like, I could have like tried to dispute it or something like that, but I was just like, I just don't care, you know. I mean, I probably would have quit Facebook over it, just because I'm so annoyed with the platform in many ways, because I find it overbearing. I find it manipulative. I find people get into destructive political conversations that don't actually yield any meaningful understanding. Not 100% of the time, but 90% of the time. And so I much prefer, I much prefer Instagram to Facebook. Anybody you say is ugly is considered hate speech. I got in trouble for another reference. Oh yeah, I got in trouble for an Aqua Teen Hunger Force reference. They gave me a warning, and so the reason I got put in Facebook jail was because that Aqua Teen Hunger Force reference I made counted as a hate speech warning, and that Aqua Teen Hunger Force thing that I referenced was the episode where Master Shake had that little milkshake that said he was his son, Zeke. And so there's a part where they're playing basketball that's like really funny. And like Zeke like shoots the ball and it's in like slow motion and they're like, come on. And Miwa's like, yeah, nothing but net. And then it's like bouncing around the rim, right? And Shake's like, ooh, get in that net, you crazy whore. So I wrote, get in that net, you crazy whore, on this picture of that episode, and Facebook tagged me for hate speech. So I was just like, you know what, like, I'm just done. Like, if people think it's a good idea to put our society in the hands of artificial intelligence, you're a moron. Not only for the sci-fi examples of like the Terminator and Blade Runner and everything else that anyone with two brain cells has rubbed together to say that it's a horrible idea for human beings to play God, but just use the practical examples of AI algorithms screwing people over for stupid stuff like that as further evidence that, we should not be giving too much power to artificial intelligence, So, I don't know. It is what it is. I also recently did a weblog for the pro wrestling section of the YouTube channel where I talk about 2010 through 14 Hogan era TNA, and I speak very highly of it, but I'm also critical of some of the early missteps that Hogan and Bischoff made that were, I think, emblematic of them not really understanding the TNA product that preceded them, and them just kind of having an inflated kind of sense of themselves, like they were gonna, make TNA into a major league, as opposed to thinking like TNA was a major league and they were just gonna make it better, which ultimately is what happened. TNA, I think, had their best creative under Hogan and Bischoff, but I don't think they had a good sense for the company when they came in, and I think some talent was alienated, and I think Eric Bischoff had an arrogant attitude when it came to TNA, because it was ultimately not a company that he made, like WCW. Here's my little Miss Pac-Man arcade cabinet that, I don't know. I don't have any batteries for, and I don't feel like actually plugging it in just to play it on a small screen. So, but it looks pretty cool to have in the game room, and it can be used if I want to. So, I'll just put this under the Christmas tree. All right. So I don't know, anything else we need to talk about before we get down to playing some Crisis Core. Oh, I'll show you what else I got. It's pretty cool. Hold on a second. We got Mighty the Armadillo plush as well from Sega Sonic the Hedgehog and Knuckles Chaotix and Sonic Mania. So, yeah, he's super cool. Stay away from the fire, Mighty. And, of course, as we know, in the comment section, International Channel 4 Life got us this awesome anime magazine filled with waifus that can be, featured in various cell phone video games. So, good times, good times, good times. Okay. On that note, we had a blessed Christmas. I got another funny story to tell you. So, I was sick, right? And yesterday was the first day I would say I was not like just downing Dayquil all day. No, that's not true. Today's the first day I wasn't downing Dayquil all day. Yesterday I was downing Dayquil, but actually felt like I could function, and I went for a run and trained at the gym. Although my breathing was not 100% back, and I was rolling with like 220-pound black belts, and it was a lot of fun, but it was hard on my breathing. So in upstate New York, I don't know if you guys know this. Like, I know we got International Channel for Life. He's in San Jose, and I know we've got viewers from like Chicago and Compton and just San Diego and like places that are not upstate New York. Okay, we had a hardcore blizzard up here, right? Like, I mean, it was like 21 below wind chill. There were like, hey, Shoemaker's on. All right. Shoemaker was just telling people about the blizzard we had up here and how I was sick, and how when I was like trying to get presents out of my trunk to wrap on Christmas night, my trunk was frozen shut. So I had to like boil water at 1 a.m. and chuck it on the, trunk of my car in like, sub-zero wind chills while, while I was, had this like walking, it wasn't pneumonia, but it was like, it was not a good, I'm sure I had like an upper respiratory infection or some crap. It's raining in Cali. That's interesting. Leo missed it. Yeah. So, yeah, Leo's down in Florida. So you just got to worry about hurricanes, but, Oh, hey, Vikings. I don't want to jinx this. They are 13-2. So, if the Eagles can just screw up a little bit more, the Vikings might get the number 1 seed in the playoffs. No, he's in South Carolina. That's right. So, very good, very good. So, yeah. Well, don't talk about my Eagles. I mean, fly, Eagles, fly. Yes, you can fly right into a glass skyscraper. No, I'm just kidding. I have no ill will toward the Eagles, other than the fact that the second game of the season, they, just completely destroyed the Vikings. The Vikings have had 3 losses all year, and 2 of them have been blowouts. And one was just a weird game they played against the Detroit Lions, where the offense played amazing, but the defense just kept giving up yards and yards and yards. And after that, the Vikings kind of adjusted their defensive scheme to be more blitz heavy, and it's been working for them. But the Vikings are just a team that every game they play, they've been winning in dramatic fashion. Leo wishes they had Adams back. I don't follow the Packers well enough to even know who Adams is. I'm curious to see whether you guys will have Aaron Rodgers back next year. Aaron is, did you watch? I did see the 33-point comeback. That was insane, and it was one of the greatest things ever. So the story of that, and I think I said it on the last live stream we did. So I don't have NFL Network, so I had to watch it on my phone via Google updates, and then watch the replay highlights on YouTube. So I didn't see the whole game in real time. I was keeping up with it in real time, and then once they finally uploaded the highlights, I got to see it. But my in-laws were over, and my in-laws don't like football. They're not like opposed to football, but they're just like not into it, They're very much like the NPR crowd, Then anyway, I mean I love them, but that's like who they are kind of. So anyway, like so I'm keeping up with the game on my phone, and it's like the Vikings are down by like 4 touchdowns. I didn't even see how bad the first half was. I just remember it was like, oh, the Vikings are playing. Let me see the score. Oh shit, and it was like really bad. And then like the Vikings were just like, they got a touchdown. They got a touchdown. They got a touchdown. It's like okay, they're within 2 touchdowns. They're within 1 touchdown. If they can get one more touchdown, they can get this into overtime. But they need the 2 point. They got the 2 point conversion, And so I was just like going nuts seeing this happen on my phone, and I just was like I couldn't believe it when I saw them overcome that 33-point deficit. And then watching the highlights of it. Oh, hey, Kristen, how's it going? I was just kind of crazy. Santino was sick the week before Christmas break, so I had to take care of him. Then he started getting me sick, so I took the Thursday off. Then we had the snow day. Then I got sick, so I've because of my illness and God's beautiful weather. I've gotten at least an extra couple days onto Christmas break. So, although part of it I had an iron lung, and I don't mean that in a good way. I mean, I felt like weighed down and not great. But yeah, hey, hopefully she's having a good school year and good times. So yeah, the Vikings are awesome. I have no ill will toward the Eagles. The Eagles haven't done anything to the Vikings other than beat the Vikings badly a couple times. In particularly annoying fashion. Eagles fans, not Shoemaker, but like, not any of the Eagles fans in Cortland, but the Eagles fans in Philly seem like nasty, weird people. Like the cast of It's Always Sunny, like the people on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, like them times a million. It's kind of like, I don't know. I just remember that one Eagles-Vikings game where the Eagles went to the Super Bowl and knocked the Vikings out after the Minneapolis Miracle, and the Eagles fans just were like, they were like crazy. Like, I don't know. There was death threats and psycho behavior and weird stuff. Oh, like I said psycho in one of my videos, and like one of my commenters like, "What are you, a psychist?" I'm like, "What is a psychist?" like I'm not against psychotic people. I just think psychotic behavior is wrong, And by psychotic behavior, I was referencing in Miho Nakayama's Tokimeki High School. That like the one character who, like, the girl who laces the food with anesthesia to kind of Cosby like your character, not the full Cosby experience, but she's trying to basically like drug you to, you're kidnapped and forced to be romantically tied to her. So yeah, anywho, so not to be super controversial. All right, well, why don't we grab a beverage with my comedically large jug of water that I freshly filled up for tonight's live stream. And get down to playing some How's the Kidnapped Kid Doing? Oh, Mason in my ceiling? He's fine. I gave him an extra bucket of fish heads and a KFC coupon for Christmas, so he'll be fine. I told the janitor to sneak in some chicken with his fish heads. So I have a kid in my ceiling, by the way, at school. He misbehaved, and so I at the end of the school year I put a trail of cookies into my classroom and a ladder. And like there's a hole in my ceiling in my classroom, so I just lured him up into that hole in the ceiling, and I like hit him in the back of the head with a chair, and now he's just been chained up there for like 4 years. And I give him a bucket of fish heads every 2 weeks. He's perfectly fine, and he's just out of all the teachers' hair. That's how it goes. Yeah. So good job, good times. All right, so let's play some Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core on the Switch. And have some fun. Here we go. We still don't have a functioning cell phone holder, so but I don't have any hair. Yeah, so I like being bald. It's nothing wrong with that. There's plenty of cool bald people. Hulk Hogan, Jason Statham, me. Gotta get off, but fun night. Take care. Yeah, see you, man. Thanks for stopping by. Feel free to enjoy the stream at your leisure later. Alright, so I'm going to pull up a chair here. Alright, got a Pro Controller. Hopefully that works out okay. And Crisis Core, gonna continue. So we're in Chapter 2. This is actually the first time I've played this game on a TV. I was playing this game on the Switch Lite. Then I transferred the data over here. So I gotta talk to Sang. Where is he? I do know that another thing they've put in this game is, in addition to having the Japanese voice track, they also have, when you talk to people, they now all talk to you with voice actors as opposed to just, just the text. I think these ladies just want to know if I like Loveless. Because Genesis, the soldier guy who looks like Gact, is, I don't know. He's a fan. How is he going to get off your hair? I don't know, man. But if I did want hair, all I would have to do is call the 1-800 number to get Ron Popeil's GLH. Because that is great looking hair. Alright, I joined their Oprah book club, so that's good. I forgot, how I had to, check, my email here. Alright. Angeal is another guy who has Cloud's early design. He has the Buster Sword. But Zach looks more like Cloud's early design. But Angeal also has a lot of that early Cloud design that, never made it. And they gave him the spiky blonde hair. Situation in Wutai. Midgar Construction. First email. Alright. That's cleaner than my school email, which has 1 million emails in it, so. Alright, let's just running around the city here. I don't know where Sang went to here. Those of you who've played Final Fantasy VII know that Sang is one of the Turks who has a bit of a thing for Eris. Not one for a man in uniform. Oh, I'm not here to bother you. I don't really care. I just thought you looked like an interesting RPG person to talk to. Anything interesting in this dumpster here? Like a professional video monitor I can use in my game room? Huh? Yeah, I guess not. Alright. So go back this way. I always looked how Midgar looked like Blade Runner. Mix of neon dystopia and 1940s hard-boiled detective city. I think that guy was the dad from the Brady Bunch. I don't remember where to go. I'm also terrible at multitasking, which, you know, makes playing games like this not a good thing on, playing games like this, see, I mean, I can't even remember my sentence, right? Like, playing games like this, I'm not good at multitasking, so. Some kids playing here. Nothing there. It's been about a day or so since I played this, so I don't remember what I'm supposed to even be doing here. International channel says, or no, let's see what Leo says. Anyone questioning the Hulk Hogan shirt that you gave me? No, they think it's awesome. Noel live stream 187 on an undercover 187 on an undercover cop. Yes, and I don't stop right there. All right, good deal. We should listen to that song. So, this guy here looks like he's up to no good. It's Shinra with a passion. Well, all we want to do is, you know, help people by keeping our foot on their balls. Metaphorically speaking, of course. By, you know, taking over their cities and putting our energy plants everywhere because, you know, listen, we know what's best. So, you know, get on board or get run over. I say that ironically. I don't actually approve of Shinra's cyberpunk imperialism. But, you know, politics is complicated. I'm sure Shinra makes some people's lives better. And those people should be respected. Innocent people work for Shinra. Good-hearted people work for Shinra. Like Zach over here. He's good people. Loveless Avenue. The Goblin Bar. Sounds like a terrible strip club. Not that I would know. Anything down here? I can't go there. See what Ellen DeGeneres has to say here. Is it true you're as terrible as people say you are? No, she's not so bad in real life. By which I mean this video game. Alright, that guy's got a quality automobile. I think I already talked to that guy. This is a weird alley, and I have... Can I, like, get, like, mission updates or something? Yeah, whatever. I mean, just running around and getting lost is part of the fun, too. I was actually having a conversation at the comic shop about how I like my RPGs nice and linear, because I have no sense of direction at all. I'm surprised they haven't, like, driven off a cliff trying to go get coffee. Alright, so I just came out of there. So red means no-go. And there's no PVMs in that dumpster, I already checked. And... everyone just wants to talk about that Loveless play. She just doesn't want to talk to me, I don't think. And neither does that guy. And there's nothing there. So, well, I'll just go back to the fountain. I would never go 187 on an undercover cop. I am a huge fan of Miami Vice, and I respect our law enforcement. So, this guy snuck into a building here. I don't think I need to save, because it was just there. She doesn't want to talk. Hey, there's nothing there. So, we'll go over here and see what's going on. Anything interesting up here? They already went here. Yeah, this guy hates Shinra or whatever. So we'll go back down. I mean, I'm definitely, no, I'm not near where I'm supposed to be, because that, like, thing on top, like, usually the number needs to, like, tick down lower and lower to, for the most part, is, like, the direction you're supposed to be going in, but... The materia room on the soldier floor is where they perform materia generation. If you bring them a Mako stone, they can turn it into materia. Nice. Serveth with a smile. See, Shinra's not all bad. Barrett doesn't know what he's talking about. Hey, Nick, how's life? Leo has been saving money. That's good. Hopefully you can buy something cool. Like this motorcycle over here. So apparently this guy wants to talk to that mature quail over in the corner there. Maybe I can be a wingman for him here. Man, she's all about her job, man. You got this game on the PS5. Nice. I still do not have a PS5. You're wanted in the briefing room. There's a Turk waiting to see you. Oh, the briefing room. It's that giant thing that says briefing room. Alright, let's go to the briefing room. Hey, this briefing room could be anywhere. It could be in a room that says briefing room. It could be in the janitor's closet. I don't know. Alrighty. So, Nick, how far along in the game are you? And did you play this game when you had PSP? Or you were playing on PSP? Ah, the apple orchard. Where dreams come true. Alright, it's been a minute. This game plays a little bit like, remake. But with some of the mechanics of the PSP game. Leo has $110. Nice. All right, Zach. A new email. And we also have this. We got a Soma. We have to hide that from the professional wrestlers. All right. I like the battle system on this game. I really do like the turn-based mechanics of the original Final Fantasy, but you know, this is definitely a fun system.
Activating combat mode.
Yeah, I'd definitely say out of the games that I've gotten for Christmas and my birthday, this is the one I've spent the most time with, and Final Fantasy VII is probably my favorite video game series, so it's no surprise. That's not the right way, I don't think.
Activating combat mode.
Weird guard hound thingamabobs here.
Conflict resolved.
Is this a dead end up here? I don't know. Can't tell. This looks like the right direction. Definitely something that would give Bob Ross inspiration. Bob Ross should be a summon. Like an unlockable DLC summon, Bob Ross. He like throws paint thinner in your face and, you know, then like draws a really cool painting on it and then sets it on fire. Do 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 do.
Activating combat mode.
I really want to get the new Mega Drive Mini. But I'm going to have to probably wait until I get my taxes, because it's a little bit too inside baseball for any of my family members to get for me
Activating combat mode.
for a holiday present, you know. My wife got me a Wataru RPG for the Famicom. We could play that, and my stepsister got me Final Fantasy II on the Super Nintendo, which is Final Fantasy IV. Yeah, they definitely improve the graphics here.
Activating combat mode.
Dude. Man, gotta get in this thing's blind spot here. Gosh darn it. Gotta get behind him here. What, eat the world on me or something? I don't know what to do with my AP. I don't know what AP max means. They got him. Someone's got anger issues.
その言葉はどこでセフィロスから聞いた。この技術も我が社の科学部門から盗まれたものだ。はあ？ジェネシスの能力と特徴をコピーすることができる技術だ。ソルジャーとモンスターだけにな。ソルジャーとモンスターは同じかよ。
They should, I would definitely say, release Dirge of Cerberus. That is another underrated game. Okay. Should probably save here. Alright, so this has been fun, but why don't we pop in some Sonic Frontiers? You know what also is not good? I opened up my PlayStation today, my PS1, and my Resident Evil Leon CD is missing, and I can't remember if I took it out or if Serafina or Santino grabbed it or what's going on, but I can't find my Leon CD for Resident Evil 2 because I was gonna review it. I mean, I could always I shouldn't have done that. I thought I closed that out before I did that. But yeah, anyway, I'm hoping that turns up. CDs don't have legs. They can roll down the street, but still, I don't know how far they could get with that. So, everybody Supersonic Racing. All right, yeah, there's the beautiful cover art to that game. This game supports autosave. Well, that's good. All right, let's continue. It's really funny, like, I always thought it'd be really funny if like Microsoft had this like terrible a controller that told you what button you hit with like audio, and it was done in like a Killer Instinct voice, and like they were trying to like sell it to like promote the Xbox One, but it was just like a terrible idea. So it's like, and we have the voice controller for Killer Instinct, and it's like up, up, A, down, down, A. The person's like, this is horrible. And then it's like, we're still the one, Xbox One. So yeah, I like to make up terrible Xbox commercials. For some reason that entertains me. Do. What is this here? Do. I see rings. That's a good sign. Sonic running like all little kids run, with their hands behind their back. This does have a very kind of cool Sonic meets MMO vibe, but I just want to, I just want to have some of that flow that the 2D Sonic games have too, but this is definitely something interesting and different. It's kind of like Sonic meets Shenmue with these changing times of days and weather conditions. One thing I don't like about this game, though, is some of the like aiming of where you're going can be a little slippery. Like, so right here, I'm trying to get on here. There we go. Yeah, Sonic hates water, but this game is very pretty, though, and it is very relaxing. This looks like some big old boss I gotta fight here. I don't really know what that is supposed to be here. I don't know what it's supposed to do here. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Like, what am I supposed to be? This is what I'm saying here, is like, am I supposed to be, like... You know, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not as used to the controls as I should be yet, but... See, I missed something there. And it maybe just, like, slipped through the cracks. This is always one of the more tricky things about Sonic's being in 3D is that he's so fast that without the linear gameplay to stabilize his speed, he's harder to control. But again, part of my control issues might just be me not being used to the game. Well, that was good. What do I do now? Is this a boss I gotta fight here? Did I get him? I do like how Sonic can do like punch and kick combos in this game. Did I beat him? We get some Nights into Dreams vibes here. No, 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 no! Damn it! Dude, that is so annoying. Like, I'm playing this game, it's like, oh, this is like, you know, great, because... It's great because it's like, you know, all cool and I'm doing this stuff, and then it's like, you miss some little thing, and then now you gotta, like, go down all these, like, slippery thingamabobs here, and you lose your progress. And I'm dead. Okay. So, alright. Let's try going up here. It is kind of weird to play a Sonic game with, like, soothing piano music. As opposed to some, like, you know, really cool Michael Jackson soundtrack. Gosh darn it, I don't think that was the right way to go. Up, 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 up. Okay. Look around. Anything here? Can I go up here? Well, I can get rings. That's good. I'll try to run into this here. Try to get some, get a little bit of a head start here. That's not right. This is like, what if Sonic decided to live in upstate New York? That's kind of the vibe this game gives me. There's got to be some trick that I'm doing wrong here, because I know I got that before. It's got to go in the blue. Okay. I don't know what this thing is that I'm fighting here, but made me lose my rings. Things looks like a pile of volleyballs. Dude, that is super, super annoying. There we go. Okay. But now I'm back up here and I still don't know what to do. This is my problem with this game. It's just like, I don't know. I guess if you're just into like wandering around and just enjoying the ride, this is what you're wanting here. But if you want a typical Genesis Mega Drive Sonic experience, this is something completely different. Which is fine. I am pretty sure I am like so far off the beaten path that I'm collect vault keys for portals here. I don't even know. I don't even remember what the vault keys are. I can punch through boxes like in Final Fight. That's interesting. I don't know. Okay, well, that was Sonic Frontiers. Quality game. Still figuring out what to do. All right, let's play something else. Why don't we? We could actually, and I have not played this yet, but we could load in some Final Fantasy 12. I have not played Final Fantasy 12 in a while. It's probably been. When did Final Fantasy 12 come out? 2000 and. Oh, let's see. It was the last one. So 10 came out in the, like, what, 2000? So Final Fantasy 12 probably came out in something like 2004. Yeah. And I pretty much played it when it came out, so it's been a while. And I remember I liked it, but I can't really remember the bad guy. I just remember, like, you were a guy who wore no shirt and overalls, and you had a, like, bunny girl that, like, followed you around. And one of the bad guys that you fought toward the end of the game had wireframe glasses and a giant machine gun. But we have to do a little download here because it's the present day, and games take time to download. Fortunately, not unfortunately. Fortunately, it's the Switch, so this is saying it's going to take us 7 minutes. So why don't we take a little break here, and we'll drink some beverages and do some chit chatting. So let's see what's going on in the chat. Leo apparently thinks I have anger issues. I don't know what I've done this live stream to make you think I have anger issues. Chit chat? Yeah, ice breaking chit chatting bell ringer. That is what we do. 1 minute remaining in our exciting Final Fantasy 12 update. Get some water here. Yeah, Switch games don't take too long to download their updates. Like PS4 and like Xbox, those things get. PS4 is like the worst. Xbox isn't too horrible, but I've had the worst luck with PS4 taking forever to upload. To download updates and stuff. This game will occasionally autosave. This game came out in 2006. Okay, and we can put the language into Japanese. That's cool. Music, original. Let's do reorchestrated. Okay. I remember liking Final Fantasy 12. And I actually have the Final Fantasy 12 sequel on the DS, and I messed around with it a little bit and thought it was pretty decent. This game kind of starts off with Final Fantasy 9 vibes here. You just stop with your British accent. Alright, bunny girls. It's like the way that, you know, Squaresoft did their, like, kind of tech flexes more than the American studios did. Like, the American studios, they'll just do some, like, you know, muscular woman with her, like, lip quivering and her dirty jeans and tank top. Square's like, these are pretty anime people. Yoshitaka Amano and Tetsuya Komuro. That Tetsuya Komuro. Tetsuya Nomura. Tetsuya Komuro is a totally different Tetsuya. Did I ever get to put subtitles on? Alright, steampunk. Alright, we got some dimensional battles happening, so that's fun. Big explosions. Got some Star Wars vibes. Braxton is now 15. They just recycled assets from Final Fantasy 11 Online. I never played that. I had a friend who was like into MMOs, and he said he didn't like Final Fantasy 11, and then he said they updated it and it was better. And it seems the same was the case with 14. I still have to beat Final Fantasy 15. To get your chocobo out of there. This is an awesome opening, but I definitely should have put subtitles on. I'm kind of surprised that Final Fantasy 13 has not seen re-releases, considering it had its own like trilogy. I really liked Final Fantasy 13. And I know I'm in the minority for that, but I like the cast of characters. I like the aesthetic and I like the story. And I like the linear nature because I like more the story aspect of the RPGs. With the exploration and stuff is cool too, you know. Teach their own. WWE 2K20. What's a game you always played the most? The game you always come back to? That is a good question that I will elaborate on after this scene because I'm going to start ranting, you know. Got some deep lore here. I mean, the short answer to your question is Street Fighter, 2D Sonic, and Final Fantasy 7, you know. But, you know, a lot of games that are, you know, fighting games are the easiest for me just to kind of pick up and play. But definitely, you know, definitely games from the, you know, 80s and 90s. I love anime RPGs, but I usually don't. I it's hard to get through all the ones that I have. You know. I really like Resident Evil. I really enjoy just relaxing, you know, playing Resident Evil with a Game Shark, so I have like infinite ammo and just, you know, exploring and killing zombies and letting the story unfold. But Street Fighter Alpha 3, I would say that's a game that I always come back to. It's just a solid game. Okay, I totally forgot to put subtitles on this, so I'm going to see if I can restart this here. Because the Japanese voice acting is what I want, but I really would like this to have English subtitles. And judging by that black strip on the bottom of the screen, I'm guessing it allows for subtitles. Or else I'll have to play this game in English, because... Okay, language, Japanese. Maybe I can't control the text. That can't be right. Oh, subtitles off. There we go. Subtitles on. Language Japanese. Okay, we're good. Why would they put the subtitles to off? Alright, let's try this again here. I heard people learn a new language better without subtitles. I don't believe that. Maybe though. I would be watching raw DBZ on. Yeah, that's true. And in fact, I've actually bought anime DVDs from the comic shop that don't have subtitles but are in Japanese. Like I have the entire Zeta Gundam series raw in Japanese, and I also have a bunch of Saint Seiya in Japanese. They have Chinese subtitles on them because I think they're bootlegs. It's really cool though. I like that, like the video quality looks like it was just taped off a TV or something, you know, which I actually really like. I'd play them for you, but I have sadly one copyright strike because Fuji TV decided to punish me for, you know, like 7 months after the fact for uploading TM Revolution giving Machan a birthday cake. There we go. So, while this is playing, if you are interested, this is my original Final Fantasy XII on the PlayStation 2, right here. And I also have an issue of Shonen Jump from Japan that a friend of mine got me. And it's got a really nice insert. Let me get it here. If I can find it. Oh, here it is. Alright. The spine on it's a little funky, but so this is pretty cool. This is the Final Fantasy XII Shonen Jump fold-out insert that came with this issue of Jump. And this was the June 2006 issue. It's also got stuff for Dirge of Cerberus and Children of Mana. This is when Death Note was still running in Japan. One with Eye Shield 21. I mean, I definitely watched raw Japanese stuff on the international channel, though. I mean, you know, I watched all those Fuji dramas, Miho Nakayama's Home and Away, Power of Love. Do you want me to play through the good ending of Tokimeki High School, or was the review enough? I mean, actually, you know, that game, I would say probably, if you know what you're doing, probably takes about a half an hour to beat. I should show you Wataru, show you guys Wataru too, but I was playing Killer Instinct 1 and 2 today, and I gotta say, I think 2 is the superior game. It's a lot easier to play. I think they made 1 they made 1 pretty hard. I was playing it on the easiest setting, and I was still losing a lot. Okay, so we know this doesn't go well for the good guys. I heard they're having a sale on Stranger of Sword, not Stranger of Sword City, Stranger of Paradise. Stranger of Sword Cities, that's an Xbox One JRPG. But yeah, I think I saw it was like 30% off or something like that. I almost bought it at GameStop the other day, but they didn't have it in stock. I mean, I'm always down to play Miho Nakayama's Tokimeki High School, but I'll leave it to you, the audience, to decide. I'm going to be democratic about this here. I got into a fight with people on the Communist Party USA's website today. It wasn't really a fight. Like, for some reason, like an ad for the CPUSA came up on my Facebook page, and I was like, it was saying like, it's not identity politics, it's capitalism. And I was like, listen, I said, until you understand, like, the white working class, you've got to get out of the college classrooms and stop viewing the Democratic Party as the lesser of two evils and get in touch with, like, the common person. And, like, until you do that, and I'm not trying to be, like, exclusionary toward, like, other groups. I'm just trying to say that, like, until you understand, like, the silent majority and evangelical Christians and get, like, the common conservative worker to, like, if you don't understand them, you will have no movement that has anything to do with the actual working class. And a lot of people agreed with me, but then some people were kind of like, well, you know, identity politics is good, so shut up. You know, it's like, whatever, I don't care. So, I mean, identity politics is, I think, not good. I think what you want is you have to you have to start with, like, common interests and mutual respect. And, you know, if you have common interests and respect people as people, then you can, you know, those differences, you don't have to agree on them, but they can be tolerated or respected or kind of pushed into the margins where you can agree to disagree. But identity politics puts those differences at the center of things as opposed to common ground and you know, common interests and common ideals and things like that. I mean, like I said, like martial arts gyms, you know, when you have a common goal and respect for each other, then you can just agree to disagree and the differences aren't that important. And you're not going to resolve the differences, but the differences are not, are deal breakers. You don't have to have, you know, homogeneity. So, you know, I don't know. But, I mean, I did a lot of research on American Marxism, so when I was in college, and it's a whole rant for, it could be this live stream if you want it, so. I just think the American left is out of touch with the common man because of the influence of academic elitism. It's actually funny, you know, like in the 80s, everyone looked like way older in Japanese anime. Now, like everyone looks like super young. You know, like Jotaro and JoJo, was a 17-year-old, looked like a 43-year-old man on steroids. You know, but now you get like some big-headed, skinny anime character. You know, like they look like they're 15, but they're, I don't know, and they're not 15. You get what I'm saying. I mean, he looks about 17. The ages in this game look about accurate, so. This is quite the intro. So this is the fun tutorial portion of the game here. Oh yeah, this was like the first Final Fantasy that kind of used some MMO style mechanics. Machines are usually weak against thunder, so. Thank you for healing me up here. I don't understand. I'm hitting attack. Why am I not attacking? I'm just not close enough, I guess. Final Flash! Oh, okay. So I wasn't paying attention. In the bottom corner, there's like a attack gauge. I was used to doing, Crisis Core where everything was just like instantaneous. This has kind of got like 1 foot in turn based and 1 foot in real time. This is such a weird system. Because it's like, it's half turn-based because you're still standing there. So like, you have time to like get in position, which is interesting. I do like that. It's just I gotta get used to it. Just wondering if I need to save anywhere here. Where is the save crystal? I don't see it. It's like, this is a save crystal, Rex. It's like, right, that sliver of something there. There it is. All right. Yes, save my game. I think at this point we have to see what's upstairs. Alright guys, let's fight. Let's fight, Terry. That is what Blue Mary would say. Gotta get in the hang of this. So you can't, you know, you just gotta, as soon as you get back near your opponent, you'll auto hit them. You don't have to just stand there waiting to get hit. Do. Anything interesting here? Looks like yes. Oh man, did all my friends die? Or these. I'm guessing those are the bad guys. The plot thickens. All right, good stuff. I remember liking this game a lot when I played it, and just don't remember a lot of it. It's one of those games that when I played it, it's like, oh man, this is like awesome. I'm never gonna forget it. And then I played it, it's like, this game was like good, but I don't remember anything about it. Remember there was like airships, and the main character had no nipples, and yeah, I don't know. And there were, yeah, I do remember the politics, you know. Don't listen to Orndor's lies. I never got around to finishing this game. I did. I liked it. But I literally, it's been since like 2006, 2007, you know? Yeah, Van is the main character. I remember that. I'm not attacking. looks like that's the end of our... There's more rats here. Ah, the year 706. I remember it well.
なんだ、何か言ったが、そのお題を。お題だと？いいんです。どうぞ、持っていってくださいまし。やめておけ。今日は騒ぎを起こすな。運が良かったな。ごめん。気をつけろぞ。やられたつもりだ。なんだと。
Yeah, take that, society. I think I heard that Final Fantasy XVI's English language release is coming out before its Japanese one. That is, if that's true, that's really weird. Van has hair like Daisuke Asakura. Location map. Please tell me there's a save crystal near here. Let's go toward this thing here. Okay, where is Miguelo's on the world map here? Well, they probably told me, and I was probably just not paying attention as per usual. I just the game isn't letting me screw up, though. Where is Miguelo's house? Oh, do. Got this quality environment right here. Rolling out the red carpet. So on and so forth. I don't know. Just checking out the locals. Okay, well, this is a good game, but I think I'm going to take a little break from it because we've played that for a bit here. I'm curious, how did the Immortal storyline end in TNA? I wasn't watching at the time. TNA was so awesome in 2006. I actually liked it more than WWE. I agree. So the Immortal storyline was actually kind of interesting. I'll tell you exactly how it ended. So 2006 TNA was definitely cool. If you watched my new video, I talk a lot about, how I watched TNA scrambled on pay-per-view during the Asylum years, and then, I watched them all the time once I got on Spike TV. It's more sporadic when I was watching them in the Asylum. But I always thought TNA was better than WWE. And that's not me saying that I mean, I didn't like WWE. I watched WWE, TNA, and SmackDown every week. I watched those three shows every week. But TNA was always my favorite. And the Immortal storyline happened was so how it started was Hogan came to TNA in 2010 and he debuted, and there was some really cool stuff, and then there was some really stupid stuff. And the stupid stuff really turned a lot of the fans off, especially considering that TNA had a lot of smart fans that it's smart mark fans don't like Hulk Hogan, which is stupid because Hulk Hogan is the greatest professional wrestler of all time. He's the greatest good guy. He's the greatest bad guy. And I understand that his conduct backstage and some of his decisions that he's made throughout his career have not always been the best. But as a character, as a performer, and as the centerpiece of the genre, there's no one better than Hulk Hogan. So I say that. Hulk Hogan brought in a lot of people from his, I guess you could say, failed Australia tour to TNA. And hang on, I'm going to get something you might like here. Hold on a second. So I went to a TNA show probably back in like 2011. and I got the program from that show, and this is when their roster. Oh, hey, I like made a draw. I have. I didn't realize this. I have like 80 police printouts in this thing. That's a cool find here. Yeah, I have like I printed out like 80 police stuff. So I don't know. Do they got room in the game room for these? I don't know. Those are really cool. Oh, and then I have like a master sketch I did of like Wolverine and an anime girl. That like cool stuff you find when you go through your old TNA program here. So anyway, I got Don West's autograph. Don West was awesome. I have Jeff Jarrett's autograph in here too. I never got to meet Velvet Sky, but I did get Angelina Love's autograph, and I actually cut it out and got it laminated. Here's Taylor Wilde and SoCal Val. The late great Daphne. Christy Hemme. Sting. So I don't know. I'm just going through Stevie Richards and Shark Boy. Samoa Joe and Shannon Moore. I got Bobby Roode's autograph right here. Rob Van Dam, I had him sign my ECW VHS tape at a different show. I don't think Rob Van Dam was at this show. Ric Flair, Rob Terry, Raven and Rhino. I mean, this roster was the greatest roster ever assembled. Hogan and Orlando Jordan. So I brought it up that, Hogan brought in a lot of people from his Australia tour, and some of them were like really good, and then others just were, like I think of Bubba the Love Sponge, and he was just horrible in TNA. But then other people were like really good. But I mean, if you compare the people that Hogan brought into WCW, like, the Macho Man and, like John Tenta, and like, I mean, I think the people that Hogan brought with him over from WWE, or sorry, WWF, it was James Storm's autograph, and Jay Lethal. Jay Lethal was hilarious at this time when he was doing like his Ric Flair impressions and stuff. Yeah, here's Hogan right here. So, definitely, I think, like, this time period in TNA, it by this point, it was awesome. Here's Eric Young. I met Homicide. He signed a poster of mine. Here's my Madison Rain autograph right here. And here's an actual picture that I took of Madison Rain fighting Angelina Love at the show. And Madison Rain signed it. So this was like really cool. And Angelina Love signed my, I did a poster of her, and I have a selfie with her. That was really cool. The Pope D'Angelo De Niro right here. Bubba Ray before he turned into Bully Ray. Chris Sabin. This was the Ric Flair AJ Styles that I talked about that I thought was like a really stupid idea. And then like Abyss, Hulk Hogan gave his WWE Hall of Fame ring to. And Abyss was kind of like Dave Sullivan when Hogan jumped to WCW. And he was just kind of like this goofy guy. Why is Tommy Dreamer. I have a Tommy Dreamer autograph. I was going to say, why? So I must have cut this Tommy Dreamer autograph out to get it laminated, and I never did. The flip side of it is Suicide. Because a couple of these I did cut out. The Angelina Love one I got laminated. Here's Dixie Carter. Okay. So let's talk about the Immortal storyline. And here's my TNA program here. Okay, so you know how Abyss had that Hall of Fame ring of Hulk Hogan's? Like, when Hogan came into TNA, it was written really odd that, like, a Hogan was there to just kind of, like, hit the reset button and everybody had to pull their weight and everybody who's at the front of the line get to the back of the line and we're all like only the cream will rise to the top. Of course, when somebody says that in pro wrestling, it's completely meaningless because professional wrestling is scripted. So the people that they're going to push it doesn't really have anything to do with their merit. It has to do with like these people are the ones that are going to get pushed. These ones are the ones that are not going to get pushed. So, Hogan and Bischoff, they kind of came in and like I loved seeing Hulk, but then like other awkward things were happening. Like the NWO came in and rather than like teaming up with Hulk and being his muscle, they were like Bubba the Love Sponge's like friends or something like that. And they were like bad guys that like Hulk was against. And then like other more established people like Christopher Daniels, you started seeing like less and less of him. And then they switched the six-sided ring to a four-sided ring, which I didn't really care because like the four-sided ring was in the Asylum, and everyone always said the Asylum was like this golden age of TNA. But the six-sided ring, it's like a fan of TNA. Like the six-sided ring really was part of its identity. So, when Hogan and Bischoff come in, and I'm sure they were just following creative a lot of the time too. That Vince Russo was writing to kind of please Dixie Carter. Um, it was kind of off-putting to a lot of longtime TNA fans, and with the amount of new people that came in that were not TNA people, and how the kind of familiar TNA people were kind of being pushed out and pushed to the side. A lot of the more familiar fans with TNA were getting kind of hostile to the Hogan era. So here's where Immortal comes in. They turned Hogan heel, and Ric Flair had come in, and Ric Flair had his group Fortune that was like his version of the Four Horsemen. Now, originally, I believe what they were going to do is they were going to have the Main Event Mafia feud with Immortal, which was like Hulk Hogan's bad guy faction that was basically run by Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair. No, the Ric Flair didn't join yet. It was run by Hulk Hogan, Abyss, Eric Bischoff, and Jeff Hardy was their kind of heel champion, and yeah, and that was kind of like the core group: Hogan, Hardy, Abyss, and there were some other people in there that I can't remember off the top of my head. So anyway, they were gonna have like Main Event Mafia feud with them, but the only Main Event Mafia people they had secured under contract were Kevin Nash. No, they didn't even have Kevin Nash. They had Kurt Angle and Scott Steiner and Samoa Joe. But Kevin Nash and Booker T went back to WWE to go join the Royal Rumble, and so they didn't have any of them. Sting was there, but they didn't want to. I don't know. They didn't have enough members of the Main Event Mafia. So what they ended up doing was rather than have a Main Event Mafia versus Immortal storyline that was being planned, they did a Plan B where they had I got the timing wrong. Fortune teamed up with Immortal, okay, and then Fortune then turned on Immortal, and that was what they did. They did Fortune versus Immortal, because originally Fortune and Immortal were like kind of joint heel groups that were working together against TNA. I know it's kind of late, and I'm probably garbling a lot of this and rambling a lot, but it's basically that's what happened. So Hogan started as a face, they turned him heel. The heel turn had some psychology to it. It's like they kind of knew Hogan might get booed, so they had a plan to turn him heel. And him turning heel, they had kind of an NWO style faction headed by Hulk Hogan, and then Hogan and Ric Flair teamed up with their proteges together to form a kind of a villainous supergroup called Immortal, of which Fortune was a component of, which was Ric Flair's, kind of Four Horsemen 2.0 kind of guys. Then the Fortune guys turned on the Immortal guys as they were the baby faces, and Immortal was still too strong for everyone. So Sting, for a brief period, was a heel, which never works because Sting is too likable. Um, Sting was a heel when Hogan came in because they tried to make Hogan a babyface off the bat, and I don't know if the plan was to always turn him heel or what. But Sting, once Hogan turned heel, his whole thing was like, "I told you so." And the way that the Immortal storyline ended is Sting kept going to Hulk Hogan and saying, "I want you to turn back into a good guy." Because I know that deep down you're not a bad guy. Like, I fought you. I know deep down Hulkamania is in your heart. And Hogan's like, "Yeah, you're stupid. Go to hell." And so Sting, he turned into like the Joker Sting. Like, he turned into this kind of like Heath Ledger version of Sting. Like, he had like the Heath Ledger Joker paint, and he ended up getting like political power within TNA. And so Immortal like had a lot of political power, but I think somehow I might be messing this up, but I think somehow Sting ended up being like the general manager or something, but Hogan and Bischoff had the power, but Sting was like using his position on the show to like screw with them. But all the while Sting was like, while he was like beating up Hulk and trying to like screw with Immortal, like he was trying to get Hulk to like be a good guy again. And eventually, Hogan and Sting had a match at Bound for Glory that was actually a very good match. It was Hogan's last high profile match. And he uh, it was the best example of ring psychology I think I've ever seen. Were they trying to have RVD be the main babyface at this time? Yes. Yep. RVD debuted when Hogan came in on that Monday Night Impact, and he won the Impact World title, if memory serves me correctly, or he won it the night after. But RVD was the main babyface. There was a problem, though, because Jeff Hardy had a drug relapse when he was the champion, and he was going to fight Sting at this one pay-per-view, and he was so fucked up he couldn't get out. He was totally just, he could barely stand up, and he walked out to the ring. There was no plan B, and Sting saw the condition he was in. Sting was in the ring, and he was just like, Sting was pissed off, and Bischoff ran out of his own accord and basically just whispered to Sting, just pin him, you know. Like, I think he was like trying to pretend he was like a heel authority figure, but as he was being a heel authority figure, he basically told Sting, just get the match done because there's nothing else we can do. So Sting beat Jeff Hardy in like literally 3 seconds. He just ran in, death dropped him, pinned him, and that was the end of it. And Jeff Hardy was so fucked up he couldn't understand anything. So yeah. So there was a period of time where Jeff Hardy was kicked out of Immortal, and the storyline's a little fuzzy in my mind, but it was good the way it was all being executed. And Hogan was a heel. He was good as a heel, and Sting was fighting Hogan, but this time he was trying to get Hogan to turn back into a good guy, and he became the Joker Sting basically. He was called the Insane Icon, and so Hogan and Sting were like fighting for control of like TNA, like for the majority power or whatever. And if Sting won, he was going to put Dixie Carter back in control of the company. because like storyline wise, Hulk Hogan had ousted Dixie Carter and gotten her to like sign away control of the company or something, and Sting had screwed with Hulk Hogan so much that Hulk Hogan got so angry at Sting, he agreed to this match where he was was at risk of losing power. And it was really funny the way that they did it, because like Hulk Hogan, like he kind of faked his retirement, and Sting just kept doing things to screw with him. Like he was like beating him up and like shoving vitamins in his mouth and stuff like that. And Hogan was so physically limited at this time, but his ring psychology was so good. Like I remember that eventually Hogan and Ric Flair reunited, and Hogan, when he was fighting Sting, he got Ric Flair to be in his corner. It was really interesting having a match with Hogan, Flair, and Sting, where Ric Flair was Hulk Hogan's manager, his heel manager, right? And the referee was Eric Bischoff's son, Garrett, and people didn't. It was kind of known that ref was actually Bischoff's kid, so like you could tell something screwy was going down. Ultimately, I can't remember what happened. I remember like Garrett messed up, and Immortal started beating him up, and then Sting went in to go protect him. And then Hulk saw Sting like fighting off everyone on his own, and Sting like looked at Hulk and told him to help him. And Hulk had lost the match. He tapped out to the Scorpion Deathlock, which is, by the way, how Starrcade '97 should have been. But that's a story for another day. But Hogan did so much with so little in that match. He knew how to work that crowd just with punches and ear cups and some color. And it was a really good match, even though Hogan couldn't do a lot. I liked it a lot. It was a good match. And Hogan turned babyface eventually because Sting's like, help me. And eventually Hogan just realized that Sting was the better person, and he agreed to help him. And Hulk Hogan turned babyface. And that was the end of Immortal, effectively, after that, because Hulk Hogan was immortal. There couldn't really be an Immortal without Hulk Hogan. I do think the group kind of floundered around a little bit after Hogan left, but it was not long after that they rolled out the Aces and Eights storyline, which was the absolute pinnacle of TNA. That was really good because basically you ended up having a few weeks of like just the good guys and the bad guys knocking around, but then all of a sudden you started seeing playing cards strewn around the Impact Zone with like an ace and an eight, and like some wrestler would be beaten up and there'd be like an ace and an eight card next to him, and then all of a sudden you started seeing these guys with like masks, and they kept doing these like guerrilla warfare attacks, and when they talk they had these like voice like destabilizers on, so it's like you couldn't tell who they were, and they were like doing like really hardcore guerrilla warfare on TNA, and they were all masked, and no one knew who these guys were. It was just all these masked guerrilla attacks, and I remember one Impact episode. I've got this on tape because it was so good. Like the Impact guys all kind of like teamed up, and the Aces and Eights, like because they were masks, I mean they could like hire anyone, so it was just, I remember like these hordes of Aces and Eights masked bikers just attacking the Impact wrestlers, and the Impact wrestlers were like fighting them all off, and it was just this like huge WCW style brawl. I mean this was like Bischoff's creative at its zenith. It was like really good. And I remember like Hogan, who had turned babyface, like the episode before Sting. It's actually funny because like Sting had spent all this time telling Hogan to turn into a good guy with the Immortal storyline, and now he's like, Hulk, I think we got to get a little old school. And then like you see Sting fighting off all these Aces and Eights guys, and yeah, they drew inspiration from Sons of Anarchy. Well, TNA drew inspiration from Sons of Anarchy, while WWE drew its influence from Duck Dynasty. That's hilarious and accurate, you know. The evil Duck Dynasty. That's what Bray Wyatt's really all about. So like, okay, so this is like really cool. So Sting was like fighting off these like aces and eights guys by himself, and then you see Hogan like starts you see him like from the back in black, and he just starts like beating all these guys up, and he's like snarling like a dog, and he's like and these things like, Hollywood, how are you doing? And like Hulk's got his like black beard and his Hollywood gear on, and Sting like throws him a bat. And it was really cool to see Hollywood Hogan and Sting team up, kind of fighting back to back with each other. It was really, really good. Aces and Eights was, I looked forward to that every week. And it was really, they had gotten creatively, TNA was like so good. Like, then they were, okay, so uh, Bully Ray was one of the good guys of the TNA side, right? And storyline wise, he was dating Hulk Hogan's daughter, who they had brought in to run the Knockouts division. And like she, so okay, so like storyline wise, she and Bully were like going out, and there was this like steel cage match between the Aces and Eights and the TNA guys. And at that point, some of the Aces and Eights guys took their masks off. Devon was in the Aces and Eights. I think originally Abyss was supposed to be, but they decided to use Devon instead of him because I think the Dudleys were negotiating their contracts. And one of the things they did to get them to stay, I'm just speculating, but I think this might have been it, was to give them like a bigger role in the creative significance on the roster, you know? So they did this thing where like, rather than having Abyss be in the Aces and Eights, they had Devon, but they had Abyss like have this alter ego where he was like Joseph Parks, this lawyer, this like nerdy lawyer. It was like hilarious, and he would come out to like L.A. law music, and it was, but like the law office like didn't exist. I mean, he was insane. Like he was in this like empty law office. He didn't realize that he was actually Abyss. It was a really, really good storyline. Yeah, I don't know where. Anyway, so like Aces and Eights was like Devon, Garrett Bischoff was in there. Wes Briscoe, who looked really cool. He had like a skull mask and like frizzy blonde hair. Doc Gallows, which everyone now knows from the Bullet Club, he was one of the early Aces and Eights members. He was called Doc, the Director of Chaos. And then, there was another big guy from the WWE. It wasn't Snitsky. Gosh darn it. He had black hair. Mike Knox, but they called him Nux because he used brass knuckles. I don't know. And they couldn't say Knox, so they had to say Nux. Okay. And they were like in there, and Ken Anderson ended up joining them too. Okay. So they're in the steel cage match or whatever, and Bully Ray reveals himself as like the leader of the Aces and Eights, and this is like horrible acting, but it was also kind of hilarious. And like Hogan's like on the outside when he sees Bully join, and he's like, no. It's like, dude, Hulk, what are you doing? He's like, no. And then Brooke is there just like squealing like a pig, like, and Hulk's like, no. And Bully's like, Brooke, I screwed you. And Hulk's like, you son of a bitch. And like fans are throwing garbage in the ring and stuff. It was like really good. And then what they ended up doing is like AJ Styles, they were trying to get AJ to join the Aces and Eights. And I can't remember exactly why AJ was so pissed off. There was a whole storyline where like this psycho girl was trying to like frame him. She was trying to like say he was like her baby daddy. It was like her name was like Claire Lynch, and it was a pretty funny storyline. And like Christopher Daniels like hated AJ, and so he was like trying to convince people that like he was the father of this girl's baby or something like that. And it was a whole like kind of funny soap opera story. That the payoff was to get Christopher Daniels and AJ to fight, and they did or something. And then I can't remember. It ended up being like AJ was the Aces and Eights were like going after him heavy, 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 and he didn't know what he wanted to do, and so he started to kind of like turn like dark. And I think like he was like pissed off at people in TNA, and I can't remember exactly why. But it was so they were kind of like turning AJ into the Crow Sting, but rather than having him look like the Crow Sting, he started to like look like the Bullet Club AJ. The Bullet Club AJ is actually derivative from the Aces and Eights AJ, who never actually joined the Aces and Eights, but sometimes he'd like kind of like be a tweener, and he'd like come out with them, and they'd like want to like chuck a shirt at him, and he'd like kind of just look at it, and then but he was like he wasn't on anyone's side. He was like the lone wolf, and he had this like really cool song. There was like this like slow country song called like Evil Ways, and he would just kind of like be like brooding and kind of like come out there with like no shirt on and like a black leather jacket with like a hood over himself. And he was like, and he was really cool. Like he was like so cool. And I remember like Hogan was just like pleading with AJ to like help out the good guys. And he's like, I need you to help me. And AJ's like, you want me to help you? Like you like I who like built this. I think he was like kind of pissed off because he felt like underappreciated under the new regime or something like that. And he's like, you want me to help you? And Hogan's like, yes, yes, help me. And by the time this was all playing out, Hogan's contract was coming up, and I remember they were pushing Austin Aries heavy at the time. Yeah, they were. They s- Chris Sabin beat Bully Ray for the heavyweight belt, and he had that belt, I want to say, for a month or two. Then Austin Aries like dressed up as Suicide, and he won they had this thing where it's like if you won the X Division belt, you could trade in the belt for a title shot. And so Austin Aries like disguised himself as Suicide for some reason. I can't remember why. And he ended up like trading in it's called option C. I can't remember what options A and B were, but yeah, option C was you trade in that X Division belt for a heavyweight title shot, and I want to say he beat Bully Ray, and eventually Bully Ray got the belt back, and Hogan was like getting AJ to help out. AJ finally joined the good guys. Like Kurt Angle was a good guy, and anyway, Kurt Angle was always like just so awesome in TNA. Kurt Angle had the best years of his career in TNA. No question, he was just phenomenal there. Pun intended for AJ. Anyway, but so like I remember Hogan's contract was coming up, and I don't know, like Hogan ended up. TNA was like going through like major financial problems because I know like Eric Bischoff, he was like wanting them to go on the road, and other wrestlers were wanting them to go on the road too, but TNA did not have the financial infrastructure to travel on the road. But I think Bischoff's whole thing was like, well, you got to get out of the studio and go on the road and give this show like a big league feel. And it's like, that's fine if it works, but if it doesn't work, it's not going to do well. And if listening to Eric Bischoff's podcast, he had also said that TNA turned down an offer to have Spike TV buy the company, which probably would have guaranteed TNA's spot on cable television for a long, long time. But they turned it down, and Bischoff got really mad about that. But he kept still beating that drum. You got to go travel on the road, and they did, and they lost a ton of money because they just, I don't know, they didn't market it well enough. And then TNA, like, for as awesome as it was not as well known as WWE to the casual fan. So they were spending like hundreds of thousands of dollars to travel and not making their money back on it. So they just kind of tried to like pull the plug, and they were trying to like cut costs, and people were leaving, and then eventually Hogan left. And he ended up going back to WWE, and Bischoff's power started to decline. And I remember like they did have this one, like the payoff for all of this was like Bound for Glory, and it was like AJ versus Bully, and AJ beat him for the belt, but then AJ's contract ran out, and like I've since heard online that like TNA wanted to cut AJ's money by 60%. And AJ was like, no, you out your mind? Like, hey, like I've, I've given everything to this company. I've bled TNA, and now I've performed I've performed best I've ever done. I've got the belt, and you want to cut my pay 60% because they just didn't spend the money properly, and the gamble of traveling on the road, and just they weren't good with money management at all, and they refused to let Spike TV have a majority share stake in the company where they could have helped out more financially too. And I believe AJ was going to agree actually to take the pay cut, but he wanted fewer dates, and they're like, no. And so AJ just said, fuck it, I'm done. And he didn't re-sign with TNA and went to Ring of Honor. And so then they lost Hogan, they lost AJ, and they did some weird, I can't remember exactly how they ended the Aces and Eights storyline, but it was like nothing great. They just had Bully lose at a pay-per-view. Was it to Ken Anderson? Did Ken Anderson like leave the group? I remember like Brooke Hogan left too, because I think originally the plan was to have Brooke Hogan turn heel and join the Aces and Eights. Because I remember like Hogan wanted to wrestle Bully Ray, but he was just not physically well enough to do it. So they replaced Brooke Hogan with Brooke Tessmacher, who was really smoking hot at the time, and I'm sure still is. And she joined the group, and then the Aces and Eights story just kind of ended with a whimper, because then Bischoff lost power. They demoted him to like a stay-at-home consultant, and John Gaborik came in, and he didn't like the Aces and Eights storyline because he didn't come up with it apparently, and it just kind of ended with a whimper. I mean, it was fine, but it was just not. It was not a proper send-off for something that had such great creative. And I mean, the whole thing pretty much fell apart because TNA ran out of money, and due to poor financial decisions, and then they disrespected AJ Styles, who was willing to take the pay cut apparently in exchange for fewer dates, and they still said no, and he was like, "Go fuck yourself, I'm done." And then he went to Ring of Honor, and then from Ring of Honor he went to New Japan and became the leader of Bullet Club. He took his new brooding persona and aesthetic that he got from the Aces and Eights story with him, and Bullet Club had a real similar vibe to the Aces and Eights, with the black and white and the leather and the biker vigilante vibe, so and like the skull face. Like Aces and Eights would wear masks, whereas Bullet Club would like kind of paint their faces to like look like skulls, so and Doc Gallows, he also came in. Another really stupid thing TNA did was they let Daniels and Kazarian go, who were hilarious during the Bischoff times. Like, they were so funny. They were called Bad Influence, and they were really, 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 really funny. And I remember like they fired Daniels and Kazarian and brought in this like evil carnival stable that was like headed by like Rebel and Crazy Steve or something. It was called the Menagerie, I think it was, and it was just weird, man. Like it was like I still watch TNA, but you could just tell like it was like once Hogan and Bischoff left, it was no longer up, 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 and now it was just like in a downward slide. And then, Dixie Carter brought back Russo on the down low against Spike TV's wishes. And, like, she apparently, according to Angelina Love, was trying to ask Spike for a lot of money for renegotiating the contract to try to I guess try to recoup some of the massive financial losses that they had with how they had spent money during the Hogan and Bischoff days and going on the road when they couldn't afford it. And I guess Spike TV said, no, we're not gonna. They said this is the offer, take it or leave it. And Dixie, I think, was like, no, I want more money. And they're like, fine, goodbye. And so then Dixie tried to get back on Spike, and they're like, no, fuck it, you're gone. And so then they went on Destination America, and, Destination America somehow got mad at them. I don't even remember why. I don't remember what it was that got them mad at TNA, but Destination America got mad at TNA to the point where they brought Ring of Honor. They started showing Ring of Honor, which was TNA's rival, and Ring of Honor did such poor ratings. I think they did one episode and it was like 80,000 viewers nationwide. That Destination America, I think, was like so disgusted with the whole prospect of Ring of Honor doing such shitty ratings and TNA making them angry for whatever reason. I don't know what Dixie Carter did or whoever, but once TNA's time was done, they just got shipped off of Destination America, and then they were on Pop TV. And once they got on Pop TV, the show got like really good because Matt Hardy had come on, and he started doing his broken Matt Hardy character, which was like insanely entertaining and funny. And then they started getting some really good Ring of Honor people in TNA, like Maria Kanellis and Mike Bennett. And it was like really, really, really good. But then Pop TV, I don't know, they just thought they weren't getting enough good ratings with TNA, even though I'm sure it was like their highest rated show. But they didn't. I think it's one of those things where it's like they just didn't want wrestling on anymore. I guess they wanted to be the Schitt's Creek channel and not be associated with working class wrestling fans. And then after that, TNA was functionally just an indie company that was on Twitch and Access TV, and I stopped watching them. And then I was pretty much, I was like, for a period of time, wasn't watching any professional wrestling for I would maybe catch a Ring of Honor episode here and there. WWE had gotten so bad, I just stopped watching them completely. And all of a sudden AEW came in, and I started watching AEW and really, 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 really liked it because it reminded me a lot of WCW, and I heard Tony Schiavone's voice for the first time in like decades, and I started to kind of tear up after hearing Schiavone for the first time in so long. And AEW, they do the WCW style matches and stuff like that. And Kenny Omega brought the AEW belt to Impact, and he, for a while, was holding both the AEW belt and the Impact belt. And once Kenny Omega went to Impact with the AEW belt, I started watching Impact again, and that's what got me into watching Impact again. And the quality of their show really has gotten really good. The quality of their matches and their young talent is really good. And I guess Scott D'Amore is kind of running the company, but it's kind of sad to watch Impact because they got like 50 people in a dark room watching those matches, man. I mean, the production values are really nice. They got a big screen, awesome music. The matches are good. The stories are good. I think Moose is overrated personally, but I hear he's a really nice guy in real life. But it's just rough watching TNA with so few people in the audience. But it's still around. So so there's my experiences as a TNA fan and my memories. So that's how Immortal ended based on my memories, and now Aces and Eights played out. And Aces and Eights was such a good storyline. It was so good, and it was really influential because after Aces and Eights got going, WWE tried to respond with the Shield and had them wearing like kind of like black paramilitary stuff. Like the Aces and Eights would wear like bulletproof vests and stuff, and so all of a sudden then like they have these guys in like black bulletproof vests coming out, and so the Shield was not as good as the Aces and Eights by any stretch at all ever. Um, and the Bullet Club I think borrowed a lot aesthetically from the Aces and Eights down to some of their members. So I thought Aces and Eights was a really influential storyline, and it was that period of time where TNA had so much talent, and I don't know, they just maybe they had too much talent, couldn't afford it or whatever, but yeah, I don't know. It was they lost a lot of money, but for a brief period, I think were without question the best wrestling that was going on the planet at that time. I looked forward every week to watching TNA, and I was really bummed when Hogan left. But I was also really annoyed to find out that Eric Bischoff, when he wrote Hogan's exit from TNA, is like he quit because he was like they turned Dixie Carter heel, and Hogan's just like screw this, I'm leaving, and Dixie Carter was like begging him to stay and getting like dragged out on his ankles, and like it was a really bad visual. And Bischoff's like, yeah, I wrote that because I didn't want Hogan having the stench of TNA on him. I'm like, dude, like you got a lot of nerve, man. Like you're like taking these people's money and you're like making the company look bad, to protect your friend. Um, so it was. I mean, all the guys like Sting, Kurt Angle, on their way out, they made the company look good. I mean, and AJ just got screwed. I mean, AJ left. AJ's last TNA match was against Magnus, Nick Aldis, and they threw everything but the kitchen sink at AJ, and that was the only way they could beat AJ. They made AJ look good on his way out the door, which was at least good, and that I think kind of left the door open for them to maybe do more with him in the future. But he went to New Japan and Ring of Honor, and then from there, went to WWE, and he's been in WWE longer than he was in TNA, which is crazy. So it's fascinating that besides all that, they're still around. Yep, they're still around. And in my last video, I kind of joked that they went from being bound for glory to hard to kill. Being hard to kill is a good thing, and my video is kind of derogatory about it. I'm like, yeah, we're like that cockroach you can't quite kill, But Impact has now become like the Ring of Honor, basically. Like they're now the number 3. And like I mean AEW is got a better network than TNA, but when they were on Spike, I mean TBS and TNT have a bigger reach than Spike TV, but Spike TV, they used to have WWE. I mean, for a while Spike TV was the place to watch Raw. And then they ended up being the place to watch Impact. And the Bischoff talked about this on his podcast. Bellator was bought by Spike. Bellator is still around, UFC was on Spike, and then they left. WWE was on Spike, and then they left. So, to kind of bounce back from that, Spike TV ended up with Impact and Bellator. Although Impact would lead into UFC. Like there were people from Impact in the audience at UFC sometime, but UFC left, and then Spike got Bellator, and they bought Bellator, And Bischoff wanted, for as I think as unwise as it was for him to push TNA out on the road with whatever power he had or whatever, um, uh, he wanted TNA to take the offer for Spike to be the majority, owner, because that would give them a powerful investor, and that he knew how to deal with that with Ted Turner. Now, the flip side of that is that if you got bad corporate management that doesn't want wrestling, then your product is in a lot of trouble. And I was actually just listening to Jeff Jarrett's podcast where he was talking about the NWO 2000 and how dysfunctional WCW was, because it was a kind of a corporate beehive that was completely uncoordinated. And so it was basically like a corporation that wasn't that interested in having professional wrestling, trying to manage a professional wrestling company that was filled with professional wrestlers who had their own interests ahead of the company's interests. And the company was not providing any real structure for anything, and it just was spiraling out of control. So I don't know, but yeah, Impact's still around, and I like it. So, and I wouldn't have been watching it if it wasn't for Kenny Omega being there and being their champ for a while. In fact, I wish he would go back, because they're sorely lacking in star power, and they got Josh Alexander, who's got an interesting look. Bully Ray's back in TNA, which is interesting. Their Knockouts division is still really good, but whatever they got going is very few people in the audience. I mean the people that are there are happy. It's not like it's nothing, but it looks like they got maybe 100 people. So I don't know. It's my rant on TNA. So. Did I watch Global Force? For a brief period of time, TNA rebranded as Global Force. So during the Pop TV days, Jeff Jarrett came back with Global Force. I never saw Global Force when it was just Global Force, because Jeff Jarrett was never able to actually get a TV partner. I remember he filmed a bunch of shows, and he had New Japan, he had connections in New Japan, and I remember I think he sponsored a Wrestle Kingdom under Global Force. So it was Global Force presents Wrestle Kingdom, which was crazy. And that's when Jeff Jarrett joined the Bullet Club. But Global Force never got a TV deal, so he ended up merging Global Force with TNA, and this was right toward the end of the Pop TV stuff, and this was this was bad though, because Jeff Jarrett was having problems with alcoholism, and the golden goose for TNA at this time was the Broken Hardys, and they were really doing insanely funny and entertaining stuff. I mean, it was so funny. You have to YouTube, if you haven't already, Broken Matt Hardy, ruining Jeff Hardy's birthday, and Brother Nero and all this stuff, and Matt Hardy having an orgasm on a lawnmower and teleporting around, and he had a giraffe that was the reincarnation of George Washington. I mean, it was completely batshit crazy stuff, but it was really funny, and it was entertaining as hell. And it was like the Dungeon of Doom, but it was he was a baby. He started out as a heel, but he was so funny. Everyone just loved him. So, anyway, so apparently Matt Hardy and Jeff Jarrett did not get along, and Jeff was having addiction issues, and so they basically rebranded TNA Global Force Wrestling for about a month. because TNA had developed a reputation for having like a bad name and a bad acronym, and they were just going to call it Global Force. And Jeff Jarrett was too messed up to run things, and so they quickly rebranded back to Impact. And Jeff Jarrett ended up in a rehab facility, and eventually WWE got him. He started getting him like in the wellness program and stuff like that. And Jarrett was he seemed like he was in a bad way for a while, but he's back and he's awesome. So, but yeah, so I saw Global Force when it was TNA. But I never saw the Global Force baseball stadium shows. They did have the Bullet Club in them and stuff like that. So, yep. I remember it was like really funny because like I think it was James Storm. I feel sorry for people in the audience who are expecting some video gameplay. No, let's play some video. How long have I been talking about TNA? I mean, we've played at least 3 video games already, so. Let's play some more games. All right. What time is it? Hang on a second here. It's not unusual for 1:30. Damn it! All right. Just some Killer Instinct. All right. Let's see. We'll get Killer Instinct going on the big TV here. Some Xbox One. Do. No, I unplugged the PlayStation 4. That's not what I want. I want to. Hang on. To plug in the Xbox. Okay. Okay, let's go to Xbox One, and we'll move Final Fantasy 12 and do some gameplay. Reconnect the controller. It is connected. What are you talking about? My controller is connected. What's going on here? Maybe I'll just, I don't know. Killer Instinct 2 is better than Killer Instinct 1, but... Alright, we'll play some Killer Instinct 1 and then some Killer Instinct 2. I actually was playing this on my Trinitron, and this game looks tight on the Trinitron. It looks good on high def too, but you know. Oh, these Mortal Kombat clones and their uppercuts. This is like, if you ever wondered what Donkey Kong Country would be like mixed with Mortal Kombat, look no further. I like this guy because he looks like Mike Tyson crossed with an American Gladiator, but I really am the best with Orchid because she fights most like a Street Fighter character. There we go. They actually came out with an arcade 1-up cabinet of this. I still haven't played the actual new Xbox version. I've just been spending all my time playing the originals. Gosh darn it. Oh man, he got me. This game had a nice techno soundtrack. Oh, I'm so close. That did it. We're being at a slumber party at my friend's house and staying up late playing Killer Instinct Gold on the N64. This is definitely a good 90s fighting game. Not as good as Japanese made stuff, but it's good. Should definitely make a Taiketsu, Dragon Ball Taiketsu 2 in this style. Ah, jeez, come on. Ah, darn it. Let's check out Killer Instinct 2. Oh, welcome to the Instinct. Like, oh, wait, what? Oh, resume play. I'm at the final boss. Yeah, there we go. Got my progress. That's good. Look, it's wearing a thong in this version, so that's definitely an improvement. This is not good. Oh no! You know, playing this game makes me realize how good Ultra Vortec was, because it was really a good game that combined both Killer Instinct and Mortal Kombat styles. So basically, earlier today, I was going through and playing Killer Instinct 2, and I got to the final boss, and then I had to do something, and here's the saved game from that. Gosh darn it. Yes, I'm going to continue. So far, so good. Come on. Dude, he's got like no health. How's his health going back up? Dude! What, his health like respawns? Man. Alright, come on. Hang in there, Orchid. Onward and upward. So on and so forth. It's like when you play the first round, it's kind of like a King of Fighters situation where, you know, the first round isn't so bad, and then all of a sudden, like, he goes into like psychotic cheap mode here. He's got like no health. I don't know why I can't get him down here. What do I have to do to get him? He's literally got no health here. Dude, what is this? This isn't fair, dude. He's got no health. What is the trick here? That's what is this, dude? He's like, what bullshit was that? Like, I had a total full bar of health. I beat him, and then I couldn't KO him. What do I gotta do to beat him? That's completely ridiculous. See, I've done it again. I did it again. He's got no health here. Okay, what am I supposed to do here? Like, there's my health. There's his health. He has no health. So, like, what is, like, what am I missing here? You know, I've beaten every other character in the game. I don't know, like, if I'm supposed to try to do some, like, fatality in real time. I don't know any of the finish moves. And if that is the case, that's a really stupid game mechanic. There we go. What I did was I just kept like hitting the fierce punch and kick buttons at the same time. Gargos is defeated. The way stands clear for forces of good to the world of Ultra Tech. Cursing Orchid as he's dying, Gargos reveals that Jago is her brother, and they'd both soon be dead. Well, you know, reaching beyond the grave, Gargos possesses Saber Wolf and attacks, but Jago slays the wolf, and the siblings return home to a new life. It's a good in-game ending right there. Hey, nice dance music here. This is a good job of like nailing the American mid '90s fighting game craze. They got dance music. They got pre-rendered graphics, Donkey Kong Jr. style, and they have some solid 2D gameplay, and they put the effort to get a nice endings in there to the arcade mode. So yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Although that final boss, like to have him down to like no health for so long, is really frustrating. You have to use the right facial expression to KO him. I don't know exactly what that expression is supposed to be, but whatever it is, we worked it out, so. This song would have been better than the music used in the American soundtrack to the Street Fighter animated movie. That music was terrible. The Tetsuya Komuro music was amazing. They did some really nice work with this stuff here. I want to say that this engine was supposed to be the N64 engine because there was another racing game and Killer Instinct, and I want to say like at the start of them they were like made for the Ultra 64, soon on Nintendo or something like that. I want to say there was an SNK Neo Geo game that used similar pre-rendered graphics. It is really interesting seeing this style of 3D graphics here. It offers a unique look from Polygon. Black Orchid looks like, I don't know, cross between Janet Jackson and Jada Pinkett. You better keep her name out your effing mouth. Keep her name out your effing mouth. Ah, the ladies. This isn't really good at track mode. I mean, this really isn't good at track mode. I mean, I would just like, I would just leave this playing in the game room like 24/7. Actually. Glacius. It's like if Spawn and that snow monster from Rudolph fused into one super being. Yeah, good times, good times. Hang on, let me go check the time here. Uh, 1:53. Let's I want to check out the actual new Xbox One game, but I like this attract mode so much. I just want to keep watching it. We have He-Man over here. Oh man, did they not like put the music on a loop? Track mode sounds are on. Huh, I don't know. Alright, this is good, but let's do a match or two, see what they did to upgrade the whole situation here. Although I doubt it's going to be better than the charm of 2, but, you know, we'll see how Killer Instinct looks on the with modern graphics here. All right, what do we got here? Sorry if I'm not talking as much as I normally do. I've been watching some live streamers where like people are just like playing the games, and I'm afraid that's like seeping into my subconsciousness here. So I wanna make sure I'm always saying something interesting and entertaining. While at the same time giving you guys time to digest the content and not having things feel too forced. All right, come on, man. Here, come on. I gotta go to bed here, so Shadow Lord single player is what I want here. Got it here. Helping options here. Fight. Let's do. Do I get an assist character here? I don't know. No, I'll just be regular working. Alright, come on. Alright, let's see how the new game plays here. I mean, so far it looks very nice. I do like the original's vibe, but you know, seems like they're doing a decent job here.
Target spotted. This should be quick.
Looks like they've kept things a lot more bright and energetic than the newer Mortal Kombats. Smooth gameplay, I like it. This is good. This is good. It plays, it's very fast and responsive, and the controls are just like the original. It's so the controls are very similar to the original, but they're just more intuitive. They flow better. So, I mean, if we're talking like console exclusives for the Xbox One here, this would be the one I'd recommend. Because I don't really think there are any other ones. Maybe some shooters, but I don't really play shooters, so.
One step closer to fleshing out Ultra Tech.
Supreme victory!
My shift begins in 4 minutes. Hey, Sinister. We're playing some Killer Instinct. We spent about a half an hour plus rambling about TNA Impact. And then before that, we played some Crisis Core on the Switch and some Sonic Frontiers on the Switch, some Final Fantasy XII on the Switch. And then we did a couple matches on the original Killer Instinct, beat the final boss on the second Killer Instinct, and now we're playing the newest iteration of Killer Instinct on the Xbox One.
Watch out. You might get cut.
And I gotta tell you, I am impressed with this game here. This is easy to play, and it's fun, and it's pretty. For an American fighting game, that's really good. And, you know, they do a pretty decent job. They do a good job of keeping a similar vibe to the original. Whereas I think Mortal Kombat, the newer Mortal Kombats, you know, they've taken a decidedly darker aesthetic choice, which does not feel as fun as the playing like the original game from the 90s. Yeah, and I had no plans on buying this game. I had some people had given me GameStop gift cards, and so I just went into GameStop and I saw this game and I was like, what the hell, I'll give it a try, and I'm happy I did.
One step closer to fleshing out Ultra Tech.
Supreme victory!
Alright, we'll do a couple more. Maybe one more. I don't know. I gotta go to bed. It's like after 2 in the morning. So we've been at it for a bit. We'll have to do international channel tapes next time. That truly was an extreme combo. You know what's also great about this game is they didn't try to like run away from the over-the-top 90s, you know, like, it's extreme, you know, like, they're like full blast embracing all that stuff. You know, this isn't like Sylvester Stallone re-releasing Rocky 4 and taking the robot out of it, because that'd be freaking stupid. And I heard that's what he wants to do if he didn't do it already. It's ridiculous.
One step closer to flushing out Ultra Tech.
Supreme victory.
TJ's looking a little more grizzled.
Think you got what it takes to be the champion? Come on!
I like this guy's stance. It's very peekaboo-esque. He's not moving his head, though. I gotta tell you, I was not thinking I would like this game as much as I do. Not that I went in here like thinking I wouldn't like it. I was just kind of like, whatever, you know, it'll be okay. But this is good. This is good stuff here. I like it a lot. And as much as I like the older games, this game is objectively easier to play.
One step closer to flushing
It
out
flows very smoothly, and it has the feel of the old games with better gameplay, and that's saying something because usually new games they make the gameplay worse. You know, they do something like screw up the physics or something, but this game basically it's the same look and feel, but they improved upon things. Now, I mean, am I saying I like the aesthetics of this game better than the old ones? Not necessarily, but it's good stuff. It feels like a natural progression. This feels like a Killer Instinct game on a new console with gameplay improvements. Oh, low battery. That's probably going to have to be it for tonight then here, so... We got 20% on our battery here. I think your screen froze, but you can still hear me. All right, well, we'll wrap it up here because it's like 2:00 in the morning. Now it's back. So how long was it frozen for? Did you see me beat the boxer guy on Killer Instinct? What's his name? TJ McPunchface or whatever he's called. I don't even know. So it's frozen for about 5 minutes. What? I mean, I don't know. That's crazy. But you could like hear what I was saying, but it was just frozen. Well, I mean, I don't know. Like it probably was because my battery was getting low on the phone because I've been streaming so long. So, well, hopefully that was you could at least get something out of the live stream. So sorry I didn't catch that sooner. So, next stream we'll start off watching some international channel tapes. I don't know what just I heard in the kitchen. I don't know. So, I don't know. Maybe Santa Claus is here, because he already was popping up, in my Rickroll videos. So, there we have it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the live stream, enjoyed some Killer Instinct, some JRPGs, some Sonic, and some pro wrestling talk. And until next time, guys, my name is Noel. You take care, and I will see you in the very near future for more Noel ComiX YouTube channel fun. Good night, my friends. Bye-bye.